Whew. Okay, here we are going to quickly run through day 2. So what we've got for day 2's workout, let's see, we've got lower body, glute, and hamstring builder. So what we're gonna wanna do, I'm just gonna walk through it this time. Figure that will be a lot easier. If not, let me know if you actually like this step by step. I could probably put that together too. I'm just trying to figure out what works better. If time-wise, you just want like a rundown of what to do and how each move looks, then you can kind of take your time with doing the moves. Or if you want like an actual long form video of following it along. So let me know which format works better. I'm going to try this one for today. And yeah, so first one I have is foam rolling and stretching. So obviously it's that's a little bit more self-explanatory. If we're working lower body and you have a foam roller, I could probably upload a video of how to foam roll different parts of the body. I have one of those. I have that already made. So look for that in the long video section. But let's see, then if we skip forward to the half kneeling ab rotations, I will bring this here. What that looks like is start with the ab, and start with the dumbbell down here. Rotate it upwards, so it's kind of like wood choppers where you're here, right? But rotation. So you start down here, and this way. And the whole time you're just trying to move with your core. And so whatever leg is down is the side you'll start with. So if I then switch onto this side, and you're over here, and then you're rotating up this way. Like so. Okay. That next one, we got 5 minutes of walking. Preferably might want to do this, I could probably just change it right now too. You want to do like the warm-up of walking and foam rolling and stretching all in kind of one part, and then the half kneeling rotations, the single leg scapular wall slides. So maybe I've already done a little video clip, and maybe I'll upload it for this one to be self-explanatory on that one. But basically you're gonna need a wall. If you have a foam roller, great. If you don't need one, but it does help with like the rolling up. So if you have your arm and this is against the wall and you're on one leg, you're kind of rotating this, pushing up, rotating it back down, up and back down. And what you're doing is you're thinking about your scapula here in the back, trying to push it up, bring it back down, so you're squeezing it down, you're pushing it up. So let me upload that clip to that workout so that makes a little bit more sense. But yes, that's essentially what that one is. Then the actual resistance training part. So the barbell hip thrust, what I have here, but let me just preface with saying that like all of it can be done at home too. This is just what I have if you're in the gym. If you're at home, do this all with dumbbells. So just want to preface with that. So if you have barbell hip thrust, if you're at home, you can use the edge of your bed if it's low enough. You can use a bench outside if you have one. You can use a chair. So basically we're going to use, if I use my bench over here and I grab one of my dumbbells here, looks a little something like that. Definitely put a pillow under, make it as cushioned and comfortable as you can. That is not very comfortable to do on a bench like that, but try to drive with the heels down so that when you're at the top, you're not overarching your back, you're keeping your back as flat as possible so that you get to a stuck point of your knees, your hips, and your core all being in line rather than overarching. So hopefully that makes sense. We've got Romanian deadlifts next. Let's see, so Romanian deadlifts. So I would make sure you're squeezing your glutes already off the bat. You squeeze, you feel nice and square. So the biggest cues that are most important to keep in mind is when you're doing this move, you're not leaning forward as much as you're bringing your glutes back. You see that little difference there? A lot of people will just start doing this, and that's not right. You gotta go straight down, but your hips and your glutes are going back and then coming back up. That is the proper way to do that. And coming back and up. And you can go down further, although if you're new to this, I would suggest just going down to the knees and coming back up. So yes, that is Romanian deadlifts right there. Let's see, Bulgarian split squats. All right, these, obviously, people find these to be the hardest ones to do. So, but if you were in the previous challenge, we worked on these a little bit. Hopefully, in the last few months, if you've been with me since January, which a couple of you have, then you're feeling up for it. It's challenging, but I think you're feeling up for it. So I'm gonna use the stairs over here. So just to go over exactly what it looks like. Let's do it. Don't be afraid to take a big step. want to be doing this. You don't want to be doing this. You want to be right in the middle. Come straight down. Back up. Other side. So that's what those look like. You should feel that in the glutes and in the quads. The more you're upright, the more you'll feel that in the quads. The more you lean forward, the more you feel it in the glutes. And if you feel this in your knees, which you obviously shouldn't, then you're tweaking your knee too much in that move. You need to keep it in line with your shin and your femur. So try not to tweak your knee too much this way or too much that way. Keep it in line with the way that it should be. Okay, and pardon the wind. It's a little bit windy today. All right, so glute cable kickbacks are the next one. This is an isolation just for your glutes. If you're in the gym, you know, I'll need to speak to the people that know what to do with this move. Go and do it. If you don't know how to do this with a cable glute, with the cable cord, you should have an attachment, a triangle attachment that you put onto your foot. Hold on to the metal jungle gym, you lean forward, and you kick back. This should all just be in the glutes. A really good glute isolation squeeze. And then if you're at home, let me see if I can kind of move this over here to be a little bit easier. If you're at home, what you can do, let me try from the side. Then you're on all fours. Let's see, can you guys see me again? Okay. You're on all fours, you lift one, kick back. Now again, don't try to kick as high as you can. Just kick till you naturally stop. If your core is engaged and you're keeping your back as flat as possible, you'll only go as far as right about there, right? And then you don't feel it in your back. You don't feel like you're overarching or anything. Just keep your core nice and strong. Squeeze right there, bring it back down. Squeeze. Down, squeeze as hard as you can. Another tip is to keep your foot flexed the whole time. So if you're out here, my foot is flexed. You're not pointing, you're not just leaving it limp, it's flexed. Switch. Like so. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, okay, so then there is seated hamstring curl. And so if you're at home, don't worry, I have a home version of this. If you're at the gym and you have a seated hamstring curl machine, that one I feel like is pretty self-explanatory. You sit, you curl that way. The only difference this time around is that you're doing a pause, and then as the weeks go on, there are tips at the top of each week of what you're going to do differently this week with that exact move, whether it's a pause or a tempo switch, or some other technique. So be on the lookout for that and try to incorporate that into each move, and that is what's going to bring some change, some energy to these workouts, so be prepared. But if you're at home, what you're gonna do, you're gonna lay on your stomach, and if you have a dumbbell, use it for this too. Probably want to just try it without anything, so hopefully you'll be able to see me from here. But you're going to lay on your stomach essentially and curl from the floor. So without anything, you lay on the floor and you're curling. You squeeze your feet in so they're together and squeezing your glutes. And create as much tension on the way up in your hamstrings and glutes as much as possible. If you want to add a dumbbell, put it between your feet and let that be the tension. So then you're dropping and you go all the way up and squeeze and drop back down. Squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. Drop back down, squeeze. Now I'm telling you squeeze hard enough, obviously you're gonna feel it. So then if you add something really heavy, well, you already know. So, that's the idea with those. Frog pumps with mini band. So if you don't have a band, that's fine. These are kind of actually a teensy bit harder to do with a band, but frog pumps essentially are like the glute bridge that you do on the ground, but with your heels and your feet together. So quick little demo. So if a glute bridge is just normal like this, the frog pumps, you have your feet together and you squeeze from there. Like so. Okay, so it's 4 sets for the first 2 exercises that I demoed, 3 sets for everything else, and then varying reps for each one. So there you go. Then the glute finisher that we have is a wall sit, band lateral walks, and jump squats. So a wall sit, that's a little explanatory. Go to a wall, try to go as 90 degree with your knees and your hips and your body as much as you can. The lower you go, the harder it is. And band lateral walks. If you don't have a band, I have some bands. They're on my website if you like some. If you do, use some bands, put them around your knees right here. Get into kind of a squat. Keep the tension on the band and walk across. Maybe 10 this way and then 10 back this way. I believe that's what it is. Oh, it's 30. All right, so 15 and 15. Do this 15 times this way, 15 times this way. If you don't have a band, that move works just as well. Just be careful of your knees. It will put a lot of pressure on your knees if you're not leaning far back enough. So like for instance, like I don't necessarily just go straight down. It's that whole hinge thing again. So you're hinging back. I feel my glutes, I feel my quads. Very minimally less pressure on the knees. But if you're, doing this and you're straight up and down, that's a whole another leg exercise that just strengthens the muscles around the knees. So we'll save that for another day. The jump squats then are after that. So what you're doing, there's different variations. If you want to go with like a low impact version, just do this and up on the toes. If you're really trying to get some cardio into this, so full range of motion, full jump, 12 times. Treat this like a little bit of a circuit, so 2 rounds, wall sit, bands, jumps, wall sit, bands, jumps. So yeah, that is the workout. Definitely make sure to stretch, cool down, stretch really, really well. Stretch out your calves, glutes, quads, all of it. And then, then the next day for day 3 will be a rest day. So look forward to that, and I will talk to you guys again soon.